Hey 2033, this is Dr. Wilderman, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the assignment documentary treatment. Okay, so documentary is a really cool blend of journalism skills, CMP skills, and PW skills. So a few things. First, make sure before you do the assignment that you have watched the video lecture called Documentary Treatment. It's by one of our CMP professors, Scott Hodgkins. And make sure that you look at his example treatment that he has given us too. That's going to be helpful. It's called Eyes of the Storm, the First Informers. All right. Also, there's some readings for you all to do before this assignment. Under our readings section in Canvas, writing a document treatment that sells. And then there's going to be some example short documentaries for you all to watch. I believe that you can access those by opening the assignment, and the links are inside the assignment. Additionally, your individual instructors might put up some different examples of documentaries that they like, probably short documentaries, so they might be providing those for you too. All right, so some terms that it's going to be helpful for you to know for documentary. First of all, what is a documentary? All right, so basically it's a non-fictional motion picture. It's intended to document an aspect of real life, okay? There's some fiction style, usually humorous, productions called mockumentaries that are fiction. That's not what we're doing. A documentary is about nonfiction. It's about real life. You're telling the story of something that has happened or is actually happening, all right? You're talking to real people who are doing real things. The purpose of a documentary can be entertainment, it can be instructional, it can be educational, it can be about maintaining a historical record, and again, it can be straight up just about entertainment value. But always, since it is based in reality, pretty much people are always learning something. If you watch documentaries, think about your favorite documentary and ask yourself, what did I learn from it? Okay. All right, so another term that will be helpful for you to know for this assignment, the term treatment. That's the actual assignment that we're going to have you do. All right, so as always, 2033, it's the writing class. We're not going to have you make this documentary. We're not the production class, all right? But we're not even going to have you write out a full script for a documentary or anything. What we're having you do is the very first step. The very first writing step that would happen with the documentary, and that's to write up a treatment, okay? A treatment is like a pitch for a future documentary, okay? It's a document that's based in research that details what you would ideally want the documentary to look like, okay? It's going to include things like the topic, the relevance or importance of the topic, the reason you want to tell this story, the rationale for making this film. It's also going to do things like, the treatment is also going to do things like you're going to explain some of the visuals that would be in the film. Like what type of shots are you going to go for? Where are you going to film? Who are you going to talk to? You're going to provide the context of the documentary. You're going to identify the point of view. I'll talk about that in just a second. You're going to identify some of the techniques that you might use, the intended audience that this is for, all right, the length that you project it to be, and the scope of the project. What all is it going to cover? The treatment is used so people who you're pitching it to have a clear idea of the story that you want to tell. A treatment is normally used when documentarians are trying to secure funding for a project or apply for a grant for a project. They're used to share with the people who are going to help you get resources to make your documentary. Okay, again, you all aren't making the documentary, you are writing the treatment that would happen before you make a documentary. All right, so back to some terms that you need to know. I mentioned point of view. What is the point of view? That's basically the filmmaker's attitude toward the subject. All right, so for example, if you have seen or know of the documentary Al Gore's An Inconvenient Truth, that point of view is that humans are causing climate change. Okay. In Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine, the point of view is anti-gun, right? If you are looking, or if you are watching Morgan Spurlock's Super Size Me, the point of view is that fast food is bad for you and it's addictive. One of my personal favorites is Blackfish. That point of view is that captivity is wrong and bad for large ocean creatures. All right. So, let's see. I like to think of a documentary treatment as a roadmap, all right? A roadmap to the film that is going to happen later, the film that you're planning in your mind, all right? It's a roadmap with the key details that you need to inform people who are interested in the project, who might fund your project, all right? So what about this actual assignment? All right, your actual assignment is going to be a written 750 word approximately treatment. Look at the actual assignment on Canvas, all right? Look through all of the details about what we want. The assignment is going to outline what your treatment should look like, right? There's going to be an introduction. There's going to be a point where you talk about what you want it to look like visually, who you might interview, okay? But that's all outlined in the assignment. Everything that we want to be included, okay? Something the assignment says early on, there's no exact one way to do a documentary treatment. There are a lot of different styles for this type of writing, okay? So we are giving you some guidelines on it, but there's a bit of room for you to be creative in what you include and the way that you write it. Note, within the assignment, there's a list of questions, okay? It says you may want to answer or address some of these questions in your treatment. It's a pretty long list of questions, okay? Questions like, who's the audience for the film? Who will watch it? What is the hook? What's the point of view? What happens in the end? What might you want people to think when they finish watching this documentary? Please note that we're not saying you have to answer every single question in that list, okay? It's a long list. It says these are questions that you should consider, all right, while you're writing your documentary, treatment, okay? So what are you writing the treatment for? All right, so the assignment says that you're going to be writing the treatment for an already existing short documentary, okay? I believe that it's the 2 short documentaries that are included in the assignment. There's links for them, okay? So basically what you would be doing is watching those short documentaries, choosing one of them, and you're gonna reverse engineer, all right? You're gonna pretend like you are the person who's gonna make that documentary. Or you could pretend like you're basically like, that was your film, and how would you have done the treatment if you were to take a step back, right, and pretend like the film hasn't been done yet? How would you have written the treatment for that short documentary, okay? So that is what the assignment option says that we're gonna do. In some semesters and past semesters, I do know that some instructors, especially for those of you who are interested in CMP, maybe those journalism students who are also interested in documentary, and sometimes the PW students, because this really appeals to them as well. But especially for those students, if you have your own documentary idea and you want to write this treatment about your own potential documentary, I know that some instructors have approved that in the past. I will be approving that for my sections if you all have your own idea for a documentary that you want to do this treatment for. Okay, so just make sure you ask your individual instructors if that's okay, all right? But for those of you who documentary is very new to you, documentary is maybe not something you're incredibly interested in, it might be, or if you haven't watched a lot of documentaries, it might be better for you to write this treatment based on one of the short documentaries that we have given you in the assignment. Okay, so once again, just ask your instructors what they are going to approve for you. All right, so to wrap it up, we are writing the documentary treatment. All right, the treatment is like a roadmap, like a pitch letter for a documentary idea that you have. We're not making the documentary, you're writing the treatment only for this assignment. All right, Thanks for listening.